children. So today's chapter, Discovering Tooth, the saga continues. It is written by A.R. Williams. Howard Carter and his findings. Howard Carter was a British archaeologist who in 1922 discovered King Tut's tomb. King Tut's full name is Tutankhamun. Okay, he was the youngest king at that time and had died at a very early age. After years of futile search, in contest remains the richest royal collection ever found. There was dazzling work of art in gold, and that had caused a sensation then and continued to draw people. So it was a sensation when the king's Tut's mummy was found. Okay, and King Toots was also buried with everyday things such as board game, a bronze razor, cases of food, clothes, wine, etc. that he would need in the life after death. Zahi Hawass, Secretary General, another character is the Secretary General of Egypt. Okay. Supreme Council of Antiques explained that the mummy was in a very bad condition because of what? Howard Carter. He was a British archaeologist did it too. Howard Carter found King Tutankhamun's, I will say Tut's body. Okay, I will say Tutankhamun's body in in three nested coffin. In the first coffin, he found a shroud decorated with garlands of willow and olive leaves, wild celery, lotus petals, and cornflowers, which dedicated that the burial took place in March or April. So what was in his this one tomb? There were there was pearls. Okay, there was olive leaves. That all everything was for his next life. Okay, all that thing was for his next life because Egyptians believe that that will be needed for when there will be rebirth or a next life of that king, such as board games, willows, wild celery, lotus petals, cornflowers, olive oils, and the garland. Okay, and antique. Okay, like that everything. And the archaeologist is speculating that the burial maybe took place in April and March. When he finally reached the mummy, he ran into the trouble. The ritual resigned the hardened, cementing King Tut's bottom solid gold coffin. So it was a gold coffin. As you know, in the earlier times, 11th, 12th century, people were rich. Okay. Howard Carter had to chisel out King Tut's mummy. So Howard Carter was the archaeologist, but when he was excavating the mummy, he had totally destroyed the mummy. Okay, and it was reasons by putting mummy outside in the sun. So he took the mummy out from the grave and he put it on 149 degree Fahrenheit. Okay, in that Egypt is a very hot country. Okay. For several hours, the mummy was set outside in a blazing sunshine, but nothing happened. He reported that the tough material had to be cut from under the limbs and trunk to free the king's remains. The royals in King Tut's time believed that they could take their fortune with them after them. Royals here means the kings and the queens are called royals. Okay, so after the royal family believed that when a king dies, the king will take every materialistic thing in next life also. That's why their mummy was kept with pearls, okay, lettuce, celery, olive oils, everything, okay, diamonds, everything was engraved in their tombs. Hence King Toots was buried with all his expensive belongings. To separate King Tooth from his ornament, Howard Carter men removed the mummy's head and cut off nearly every major joint. Then they reassembled the remains of the body in a layer of sandal wooden box with padded. Okay, so in order to do the X-rays, he had to cut the mummy. The mummy was foiled with so many clothes, herbs, okay, and so many So this, not only his tomb was destroyed, but also the king's body was also destroyed, because it was wrapped with a certain kind of clothes, and we through years and years inside the mm, inside the coffin, his tomb was hard and stiff. Tooth's X, Mum's X-ray. Archaeology has changed since then, focusing less on treasures and more fascinating detail of life and fascinating mysteries of death. It is also uses more sophisticated tools. So it was way back early that Howard Carter had discovered. There were no sophisticated tools, okay, advanced technology. In 1968, more than 40 years after Howard Carter's discovery, an anatomy professor X-rayed the mummy and revealed an astonishing fact that beneath resin that caked King Tut's chest, his breastbone and the front ribs were missing. So, after Howard Carter's discovery, after 1968, after 40 years, there was more discovery. Okay, it was discovered that the front ribs and the breast bones were missing of that king. Okay, King Tut's big event. Even by royal standard, as he was the last ruler of his family, his funeral meant the end of royal destiny. But the fact of his death and its consequence are unclear. Still, it is unclear that how a royal person died at a young age, and his death is still a mystery. So I will be explaining the next points in the third video.